Tribe, how you guys doing? Go ahead and give that hit that subscribe button, and I hope you like this video. This is gonna be your retro review for A Different World season 4 episode 4. So listen, this is probably one of my least favorite episodes of A Different World, actually, to be honest with you. This is Whitley's Last Supper. So we open up the episode. Whitley is getting ready to go and see her dad. Her dad is in town. And she said, I heard something in his voice that I haven't heard since him and my mama used to go at it. And I think I know what it is. Him and Monica must be breaking up. And he's here to tell me about it. So I have to, make him feel good. I have to be here to comfort him. Then I'm going to hit him up for some money so I can finish decorating my new condo. Now, while she's having this conversation with Ron. She done got this plant for her father that's like in the shape of Lady Justice and, being Whitley. Well, while this is happening, Jaleesa comes in, and Jaleesa is like, her supervisor told her that she needs to work on her attitude. She had a little bit of an attitude. She's up for a promotion, but based on the conversation she had with her boss, she doesn't think that she's going to get it, because the boss is basically telling her what she needs to fix, right? So Whitley is on her way out to go to her dinner, and of course she's dressed and looks very nice. She's Whitley. Dwayne and Kanishiwa are coming up the steps with groceries, and Dwayne is like, "Oh, you look nice." He said, "You got a hot date?" She said, "Yes, I'm going out with a distinguished gentleman." Ron was like, "Yeah, they used to birth her. She going to see her daddy." And of course Whitley, wanted to try to make, we know what she up to, trying to make Dwayne feel jealous or whatever. So as she's walking down the steps, Dwayne watches her walk down the steps, and Keno is sitting there looking at him like, "Are you serious right now?" And he was like, "What?" She was like, he said, "What? What?" He said, "Okay, I might have been checking Whitley out a little bit." She was, he said, "What? She looks good." So Keanu shoves the groceries at him and then goes in the apartment. Dwayne, sir, that is always the wrong answer. He was like, "Dang, you honest with them, they get mad at you. You lie with them, they get mad at you. There's some lies that just need to be told." I'm sorry. That wasn't the truth that needed to be told. But anyway, moving on. Now, while this is going on, over to the pit, we have Freddie, her cousin. They're quizzing Kim. Kim is getting ready to take the MCAT. The pre-test for the MCAT. And of course, Kim knows all the answers. She's over preparing as she always does. And Mr. Gaines and Freddie are telling her, "Look, you got it. You know this. Like, chill out, calm down. You're doing what you always do. Remember last year when you overstudied and you blanked out. Like, just calm down." And Kim was like, "Listen, I can't. Like, this is my future. Like, I gotta do well on the pre-test to do well on the test to get into a good medical school. Like, I can't, like, y'all know, like, I can't play around with this." So Freddie and her cousin, they come up with this idea to try to, get Kim to loosen up. Now, I'm going to go ahead and knock this on out the way, okay? So they set Kim up, they pretend like Freddie drank too much and passed out over at Ron's house. They get Kim over to Ron and Dwayne's apartment, and they have a whole party staged for Kim. And of course, once Kim realized that it was a trick to get her there, she's upset. She's like, "I can't believe y'all did this. Like, y'all know I have to be ready for this test. Y'all know that I have to, like, I can't do this." But they crown her Queen Kappa Alpha Lambda Nu, whatever Ron's fraternity is, and then they bring a dude out who's Mr. Kappa Lambda Nu. And of course, he is fine and he is flirting with Kim. So Kim was like, "Well, I guess I can stay a little while." So the next day is her exam. Now, I probably would have pulled this prank a couple of days before the exam, but I don't know if I would have done this literally the day before she has to take the exam, because she does have to get a good night's sleep and she does have to rest. So I don't know if I would have done it the night before the test, but okay. So the next day she takes the test, and When she comes back, she looks like she's seen a ghost. She tells them that, she totally blew the exam. She said, because I didn't get to sleep last night, my head was spinning, I had a headache. She was like, I knew how important that was. So of course now Freddie feels bad. The cousin, I forget his name, child, but we gonna see more of him, so I'll remember his name. Um, it was just on the tip of my tongue, that's why I paused. It was just there. But they're feeling bad, and she was like, "Oh my gosh, Kim, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry." But then Kim lets them know, like, whatever, psych, I did fine. I got an 88 out of a 90, so that worked out. Now, while this is going on, Whitley goes to have dinner with her dad at a little nice shishi French restaurant, and she tries to let her father know, listen, I know that you having problems with Monica. He was like, "What you talking about?" She was like, "Well, you said, you were distraught when you called me." And he said, "Well, I felt like this conversation couldn't be had over the phone. I need to talk to you face to face." And she was like, "I know, because she said, well, I hope you were smart enough to get a prenup." He was like, "Whitley, the only person that I'm worried about spending all my money is you." And he starts telling her, like, "I got a call from the bank. Like, your account is constantly overdrawn." And she was like, "Well, my account can't be overdrawn. I got that little thingy on there." He was like, "That little thingy is only good for $500. Your account is well over $500 withdrawn." He said, "And that doesn't even mention the credit cards." And she said, "Well, I'm trying to decorate my condo." And he was like, "Whitley, this is ridiculous." He was like, "Look, you were in your 6th year college, okay? And you have got to learn how to, like, curb your spending." Now, here's the reason why I don't like this episode. Although I understand for the purposes of the storyline why they wanted to keep Whitley in that same building. One, it was just easier to, as far as like keeping all the stories, streamlined, and the whole Dwayne situation. Like, I get all of that, but I refuse to believe. Now, I believe that her daddy, because he ended up taking her credit cards, honey. And of course, Whitley ain't know what to do with herself, child. He was like, "Yo, what? My who?" Now, I could believe that the man would take her credit cards, right? Because let's be clear. Whitley, you're 21 years old. You really shouldn't still be overdrawing your account by that much. Like, that's ridiculous. But you created this monster. Like, to cut her off cold turkey, I thought was a little cruel and a little unrealistic. Now, I could see him taking them credit cards, like, absolutely. But to not let her move into her place, like, where did you think she was going to live? You knew she wasn't at the dorm. You may or may not have known that she was temporarily staying with somebody, like, basically imposing on them. Like, when you said, "Whitley, you're not moving into that expensive condo," we didn't see a conversation where he gave her an alternative of a less expensive apartment. I just feel like that extreme was a little ridiculous. I could see if her dad said, "I'm not paying for that condo, but I will pay your rent somewhere cheaper," and Whitley got an apartment in that building, like her own 1-bedroom apartment in that building. But I don't know. I never did like that, because I always felt like that was a bit extreme. Again, yes, Whitley needed to be tamed a little bit. I get that, but you created that monster. I just felt like it should have been some gradual unplugging. But neither here nor there. Whitley is unplugged. She gets back to the apartment the next day. They're taking her furniture. Her dad said that he talked to the people. They agreed to take back all the stuff she had purchased for this new condo. I guess he broke the lease too. You know what I mean? Because she signed the lease. She was just waiting for a unit to become open, but she signed the lease. And she, was talking about, of course, she's, woe is me to Dwayne and Ron, and both of them were like, "Well, girl, you do spend too much money, and, your dad still loves you, but you just got to show him that you're responsible." Dwayne tried to tell her to create a budget. She was like, "A who? A what?" And then, later on that night, she's out on the balcony, in her fur. Actually, before that, she had talked to Jaleesa about moving in, and at first Jaleesa was like, "No, hell no, double hell no, it's not happening, don't know at all." But then Jaleesa was like, "Well, I tell you what, you will pay half the bills, half the rent, and I want it retroactive to the day you moved in." And Whitley was like, "Jaleesa, I don't have that kind of money. And again, I'm saying like, how she living? She don't have a job. Like, how is she living? Anyway, like I said, anyway. So, um, she's out on the balcony, and Dwayne comes out there to talk to her. And honestly, I feel like Dwayne was a little too, close to her, a little too touchy feely to be having a whole girlfriend. And he was telling her, "Listen, it's gonna be okay. Like your dad, he didn't cut you off because he hates you, and but you just gotta grow up a little bit. Like you gotta let him know that you're responsible, and you just gotta grow up a little bit." And he was like, "I'll always be here when you need me." But then Kilolo called his name. She said something to him in Japanese, and his ass ran off that balcony so damn fast. But anyway, that was pretty much the episode. That's where it ended. And so we will take it from there. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Drop it in the comments. Peace.